Hey friends, welcome to my channel and into my craft room. I'm Heidi Sambal, and in today's episode we're going to be making 5 new crafts with fresh ideas using the new things that we're finding at the Dollar Tree for this fall season. All of these crafts have a store finished high-end look to them. Alright, now let's get crafting. Start by grabbing one of these tiles from the Dollar Tree and paint it white or whatever color you want. Let's upcycle a food can. This had refried beans from a night when I made burritos for my family. And I'm also going to be using these white sunflowers as well as a pretty little yellow ditzy flower. Go ahead and measure the height of your can and cut your tile down to the height that you're going to need to wrap around the can. We're going to conceal that can texture with this beautiful tile, and it's going to make it look so high-end when we're done, and you would never know that it was a food can. These could be so pretty in all different sizes, especially if you make different ones and put them and cluster them on a table together. Now this can is a little bit wider, so I had to get an extra little piece to glue to make the band come all the way around. Do remember that when you're working with hot glue on metal, the metal will heat up, so just be cautious as you're gluing on this tile. And once you've got that glued into place, you're going to go ahead and move on to our next step, which is bringing forth that texture. I know this is super popular with these tiles, but honestly, I love this process. I don't know if you're all sick of this yet, but I thought these tiles would be so beautiful on these cans and really elevate the look. So once you've dry brushed on that paint, now we're going to start working on the inside of the can. I added some foam. I'm tying on a ribbon and just tying a knot and creating a dovetail on the end, zhuzhing it up a little bit, and now we're going to start working on the inside of that can. I'm going to cut down the florals that I've picked. I thought a really pretty buttery yellow with a beautiful white sunflower would be such a pretty combo for the fall. I'm going to add in some of this Spanish moss, glue that into place, and then I'm going to go and start adding in all of my florals. I'm starting with the smaller floral first so I can fill up the bottom of that florals can, and then now I'm going to come in with the sunflowers. Now here's a tip with these sunflowers: when they come on the stem, their flowers are always facing straight up. That's not the natural position of a sunflower. They chase the sun all day long, so their necks are actually bent to the side, just like this. So I always like to bend them after I've cut them loose from the little bushel stem of the pick. And you can see this is the difference. Just making that twist to the side really elevates these and makes them look more natural. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick all of those down into place. And now for a little added farmhouse detail, I thought it would be so cute to take these little thread spindles and just glue them to the bottom like little feet. I get these from Hobby Lobby in a pack. I always get them when they're on sale. And just gluing that to the bottom really elevates the look of this, and the finished result is such a high-end store finish design. I hope you'll give this one a try. This project was so easy to make and so fun. I'm going to take one of these large tag wood signs. I'm going to be using this brand new beaded pumpkin that's so beautiful right now at the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to be using a stencil. This one is from Studio R12. Go ahead and start by painting your tag whatever color you want. I went with a beautiful pumpkin orange. And on the back side, I'm going to go ahead and trace some fabric around with a pencil. And I'm going to just cut that all out and glue that to the back of my tag. I like a beautiful finished backside because then it just makes it look high-end and that you bought it from the store versus, you know, it was just something that was forgotten about and you move on quickly. Especially if you sell any crafts at trade shows, always remember to finish the backside. It's really going to help you in your sales in the long run. Now I like to use a brayer whenever I'm working with hot glue because it really does smooth out that bump of hot glue in there. Now I'm going to come in with my stencil. Remember, when you're working with a stencil, it's so important to have the right brush. This is a rounded tip stencil brush. I will link my favorite brushes down below, and I will also make sure to link the stencil as well if you like the stencil. Now I like to take care of my stencils as I go, so I'm just cleaning it off in different sections because I want to use the stencil a little bit differently than how it was cut out and sent. So I'm going to just be shifting it around, and this is the fun thing about stencils, is that you really can customize what you want with it, and these are really affordable because you can use them time and time again. Once my stencil was all done and tried, farm fresh pumpkins hand-picked with the little arrow, I went ahead and started gluing on my beaded pumpkin. Now, the best way to glue this on is finding those metal ring jumps that are hooked together at the bottom of the pumpkin and underneath where the stem is. I added a lot of glue there, and that really held and locked it into place without having any issues. Now up at the top with that little hole, I'm going to just add some hot glue and cover it up with a cute button and a half wood round bead. Now I'm going to take my ink pad. I've talked about this a lot of times before. Sometimes I don't want to get paint back out again and dirty a brush. I love having a chestnut brown ink pad, and I just tap around the sides, and it really gives it that distressed look. I'll make sure to link the ink pad that I love as well down below in the description box. This next project is so ridiculously easy, and it is so beautiful, especially when you put more than one out on a table, a bookshelf. Oh my word, it looks so beautiful and high end. We're going to start with one of these tall cylinder glasses from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to turn it into a very elevated hurricane glass. Grab one of these candle stem glass holders, add on E6000 and hot glue for a long-term and short-term hold. Make sure it's right in the center. So I actually like to stand up whenever I do this part, to stand over it to make sure it's really centered. And then I'm going to just flip it over. That hot glue is going to dry first, and it's going to let the E6000 lock it into place because it binds the glass together for a long-term hold. Now I'm going to take a bag from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut it down to the sizing I need. And then I'm going to use some washi tape to go around it because we're going to take this outside and spray paint the bottom of this hurricane glass we just designed. This is so high-end, I can't even tell you, friends. Pottery Barn and Ballard Home sell stuff like this all the time. It's so ridiculous how much they charge for these. I think it's usually like $50 for stuff like this, like depending on the size. This size was probably more like $35. And so far we've made it for $1.50, no, $2.50. We've made it for $2.50. So now I'm going to come in with a grass skirt raffia piece. I always like buying it as a grass skirt during the summertime because it makes raffia so easy to work with versus buying it in the big bag and it's all crazy. I'm just going to wrap that around, and we're going to give it a beautiful farmhouse country fall look. Now we're going to go ahead and take some popcorn kernels. I put those down in there first, then I insert the candle, make sure it's straight, and add a little bit more kernels without the candle slipping around. Go ahead and move around the seeds in there, and it looks so beautiful on a shelf. You've got to give this one a try. This project is so much fun. I found these brand new pumpkin stakes at the Dollar Tree, and they had them in 3 colors, and I immediately knew I wanted to make them into a beautiful, beautiful decor piece. So grab 3 of those colors, a foam square, one of these black metal baskets, some fabric, which I'm using drop cloth, and some ribbon. We're going to start by cutting down a piece of that drop cloth to fit down inside there. You want it to look all farmhouse and kind of rugged. So don't worry about the sizing being so perfect. And then we're going to take that foam piece and I'm going to just poke some holes using the white pumpkin down into there, because it's going to be a little too difficult trying to glue it in there to make things stay without making a mess on the bottom. I want to have a clean, finished look. So I'm going to take 2 zip ties and we're going to sneak that zip tie down into one of the holes. And just a second earlier, I was showing myself snipping little holes at the bottom of that fabric. That's so we can slip the zip tie in through that hole, come through the basket, and we're going to come back up around the other side through the fabric, through the foam piece, and then zip tie it on the inside of the basket. This is going to make it look so clean, so polished, without hot glue being everywhere at the bottom of this and making it look too messy. I like this approach so much more. It does take a little bit of finagling to get that in there, but it's definitely worth the results if you do it this way. So I just keep moving around the fabric so I make sure that the sides are all pulled up. Once I've got that all in place, I go ahead and zip tie it down into the basket. And because of the little metal caging, the zip tie sits nicely down there without causing any issues of the basket not being able to sit flat on the ground. So once I've got that zip tied down, I'm now going to come in with the hot glue and I'm going to go along the inner rim of that basket and I'm just going to tap the fabric up against it so it really cleans up that fabric, and now it has that fall farmhouse look. I'm going to conceal that foam with some Spanish moss, and now we're going to move on to our metal staked pumpkins. This part is so much fun, and I will say if you have any arthritis, you're going to need to have someone cut this part for you because it is a little tricky to cut these metal pieces. They are a little bit thicker than the normal one, which is okay. But like I said, if you have any arthritis issues, just get someone that's willing to help you cut this part. You can see here that I've lined up my pumpkins and I'm cutting the stakes down on these so that they're all the same length, because we're going to take these 3 pumpkins and zip tie them together. I'm coming around where the stem is, and I wanted my pumpkins to be kind of tilting to the side a little bit to give them some whimsical fall character to them. And I'm going to just zip tie that part of that leaf to the white stake on the pumpkin. And now I'm going to zip tie part of the vine off of the orange pumpkin onto the yellow and white stakes. And you can see here that I'm just shifting them around, and then at the very end I'm going to come down to the bottom and zip tie all 3 of those together. This is going to really lock them into place. They're nice and sturdy at this point, and we're going to go ahead and stake that into our foam piece. Now this part's really important because you want to have a nice sturdy finished piece. Make sure you push that all the way down in there, and then use lots of hot glue and conceal it with that Spanish moss that's in the basket. I made sure to go up around the rods on the pumpkins, and I'm just now going to straighten it out to make sure it's sitting the way I like it to before it all dries. At this point, it's so stinking cute, and it has such a Kirkland's high-end look to it. We also are going to conceal those zip ties with some brown paint. It's going to make them completely disappear once you add that brown paint to them. And we're going to be able to decorate these pumpkins however you want. You can put some flowers in it. You can leave it as just the Spanish moss. It's up to you. I've decided to come in with some grass. Now, I will tell you, friends, I added on these 2 bows, and afterwards you're going to see that the green bow is missing because I just felt like it was overwhelming it too much. While I loved the green bow and I thought it was so pretty, I decided to simplify it and only keeping that beautiful fall check ribbon on there versus having the big green bow. Now I'm coming in with a whole bunch of florals, a couple of buttons to really make the finished look all come together, and when it's done, it has the most high-end look, and it only cost us a couple of dollars from the Dollar Tree. This project is super simple. We're going to take this tray outside and we're going to spray paint it white. We're also going to be using some of these pumpkins, and I'll show you what to do with those in just a second. Once the paint is dry on your tray, go ahead and dry brush on some distressing as much as you would like, or not at all. Distressing is not your thing. That's the thing I love about projects, is that we can take an idea and then jump forward with it however we want in our own craft rooms. So I hope that this inspires you to just have fun with it and make it your own. Now I wanted a little bit more texture, so I'm going to sand those raised bumps at the edge of the tray. And now we're going to take one of our kitchen steak knives and we're going to cut down the pumpkins half or 3/4 of a way, and then we're going to start kind of positioning them. So now that they're flat, it's going to allow us to make it look like a patch full of pumpkins. This part is so fun. You're going to be able to customize it however you want. Once you have the positioning and the different sizes that you want, you're going to go ahead and start gluing them down into place. Now I'm going to play with mine a little bit more. That initial pumpkin, I decided to cut it down so it's a little bit shorter than the white Cinderella pumpkin, because I wanted them to kind of come down at an angle. This is why I said this part is so fun, because you can customize it to however you want. Then you're going to add a whole bunch of hot glue so it stays on there nicely. Glue those down into place, and then once you've got all of that glued into place, locked in, you're going to create the bed that the pumpkins are all sitting in your little patch. Add some more hot glue and come in with some Spanish moss coming around the bottom to conceal where you made all of those different cuts. And you can see here that I added in a whole bunch of stems into the pumpkins. Once all of that is done and glued down, we're going to go ahead and take one of these wood cutout from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to do the thankful one, and you're going to see initially I painted it brown, but when we finish it's actually black. I felt like it needed more of a contrast farmhouse vibe to it. So I went ahead and glued that down, and now I'm going to come in with some of this bead garland, and I'm just going to coil it, glue those into place, and then at this point I decided it needed one more small pumpkin and a contrasting color, so I came in with an oranger pumpkin that's tiny. And then, like I said earlier, I went back and painted it black so it had more of a farmhouse look to it, and it had that contrast where it stands out even more. So I'm just tapping that paint on gently, and in the end you have such a beautiful sign to display in your home. I say it so many times on here, I don't think that home decor should cost you a lot of money. And on top of it, it's just so much fun to customize things, ideas that we see online or in stores, and to make them our very own. I hope that you give some of these high-end store finished looks a try in your craft room, whether you do the full project or just take one or two ideas and have a good time crafting in your own craft room. I'm so grateful you stopped in. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click that subscribe button if you're new here to my channel. Thanks so much again for stopping by and visiting with me today here in my craft room. And until the next episode, bye friends.